Hi guys.
Hi.
Happy Friday.
We're so late.
We are 4 days late. We're very sorry.
We're really sorry.
And we honestly, it was very last minute that we were even going to be late. So we really didn't even have time to prepare.
Exactly.
It was. We didn't know we were going to be late. So it kind of just hit. We didn't plan for this. But thank you for understanding. We had a big weekend.
Yes.
And we're going to get into it later. But we just needed a little bit of a break and literally a day to kind of get back up on our feet before we sat down and recorded for you guys. It was a great weekend.
It was perfect.
It was everything, literally perfect.
Everything we needed. I mean, you guys know some of it. I've just been going through it, to say the fucking least. I have been going through it more than damn near I ever have in my life.
Oh yeah. This doesn't compare to anything you've ever gone through.
Because things I've gone through that are bad are usually like in my head and it's more of a self thing. This is genuinely something that happened to me.
Yes, and this hit you like a shit ton of bricks that you weren't expecting at all.
Never
at least
it.
I mean, you guys know we're talking about the breakup.
Right.
At least with your previous breakup, you knew it was going to happen.
Right.
You knew, your body, your mind, your heart was so prepared for something like that.
It made sense. It needed to happen, and it was a normal breakup. It was a normal thing where we both were like, it's time, and we shook hands and said goodbye. We didn't actually shake hands, but it was time, and it was cordial, and it was healthy. It was a healthy breakup.
Right. And this was the polar opposite of that. And honestly,
this shit's crazy.
None of us expected this to happen.
No.
I don't know how we could hit that point any harder. This really struck all of us by surprise. And we literally sat here with our jaw on the floor since shit hit the fan.
Jaw is still on the floor.
Yeah.
And it threw a wrench in a lot of personal shit, obviously, but also in my day to day. There were so many things I had to postpone work wise. I finished up a video today that I filmed weeks ago, and it's actually kind of crazy watching the beginning of the video.
Different person,
completely different person. But we'll get into that. I do want to tell you guys about what happened, but it's not time yet. But I just want to paint the picture for you. I know it's not an excuse, but I do want you guys to know where I'm at, and Alex is my right hand. So by default, she's kind of going through it too.
And we just can't put on face and be fake to you guys.
I can't.
This is where we get most vulnerable, to be honest. So we can't sit here and get into podcast headspace and be okay, time to get vulnerable and be fake to you guys.
Right.
Our heads
I'm all or nothing.
Yes, our heads have been so scrambled for the last 3 weeks, and and I know a lot of you guys see it too, and we've gotten comments that pointed out and everything. So thank you for sticking with us and giving us that leeway, because we really, really, really do appreciate it.
Yeah, Montana was much needed though.
Much
and the people
needed.
We were around and the conversations we had, and
it really reset my soul.
I wouldn't say it reset mine, but it gave me a lot of clarity.
Yeah.
I think it would take a lot to have a reset, and I don't think I need a reset right now.
No.
But I think I needed the clarity that I got on that trip.
Yeah, I think we had there was different purposes for that trip for everyone.
Oh yeah.
Everyone who went
for sure.
So because we didn't have your typical Monday episode, we ended up doing something a little fun on Patreon for our Friday episode, since you guys weren't able to respond to anything naturally. We ended up doing, should I say what it was?
100%.
Okay. We did
fucking crazy.
Our own version of Chopped. So I went out and got 4 mystery ingredients, and I came back and revealed them to Kristen.
When we came up with this idea too, I was like, oh fuck yeah, this will be so easy, right up my alley. It took
5 hours.
5 hours to film.
Yeah.
So carry on.
Yeah. So 4 mystery ingredients. I'm not going to say what they are. If you want to go check it out, go to our Patreon. It'll be out now.
Yeah.
As you guys are. Yeah, it's going to be out the same time as this episode. She did well. She did very, very well. And I made it difficult.
You made it really fucking hard.
But I will say, like,
good hard.
Like, I walked back in after going grocery shopping and I was like, Kristen, this is a box that literally like chopped wood put together.
100%.
And you should be proud.
I am proud.
You got a little frustrated there.
I got so frustrated because it took so long.
Yeah.
Like we were both really busy today, like back to back things. So I thought, okay, cool, cooking video. I could bang this out with my eyes closed.
Yep.
And it just ended up taking it so much longer. So my frustration was more towards like my scheduling issue, not so much the video itself, but I am proud of myself. It turned out a lot better than I thought. And
I went back for seconds.
Alex had seconds and we barely had leftovers at that point. And one thing though that I'm sitting here thinking is like, okay, yeah, I did well, but I didn't do as well as a Chopped contestant because they do it in 30 minutes and I did it in 5 hours.
And they're also trained chefs.
Right. Like they went to school
who
for
are
this.
like in the industry for years.
And like we have no food right now since we just came back from a trip. So usually in Chopped, like they have like a pantry and like they have like a full fucking grocery store on site for any ingredient they could ever think of to zhuzh up what is in the box. I literally had to go off like canned tuna and like ramen packets.
We have not had anything. Well, we're both in jeans. That's new.
You're in jean shorts.
I'm in jean shorts. I got up this morning and to go grocery shopping, showered, and I was like, I just want to put, first of all, I'm just now doing laundry from the weekend. So I don't have any like comfy clothes because that's all I brought to Montana. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, it's so fucking hot outside. I don't have any clean shorts. So I had to put on jean shorts. And I just haven't taken them off.
I put on pants because if I have to have a productive day, I have to wear pants. Like, and not just like comfy shorts. Like I need to wear an outfit that I could wear out because then I'm not in like a relaxed mindset.
Yeah. I get that. That's a good rule.
That's a good rule. If you're somebody who works from home, it's one thing like to fully get yourself ready. That always helps. But like, I didn't feel like putting on makeup. So I made sure I put on like a cute outfit. It's not the cutest, but like it's not just a lounge outfit.
Yeah.
It's like pulled together. Kind of. I'm not wearing a bra, but like you get what
you
I'm
have
saying.
An outfit on.
I have an outfit on. And it makes it so like I stay on top of things.
The pants make it an outfit. So it's like a good pants rule because like you could wear that shirt with
like anything.
Like your period underwear and be comfy.
It's a weird fitting shirt.
What is it?
Teddy Fresh. I just don't know if I like the cut on me.
I was going to say I do.
Oh, you do?
I think you could only wear it with like low rise pants like this.
That's why I tried it on. You don't think it's too boxy?
No, you can't like tuck that into like high rise shorts.
You have to.
You'd look like a park counselor.
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
No, I had that. I feel like I dressed like a park counselor for a few years.
Probably.
In like 2016. So did Liza. Like we always did like high waisted with a belt, tucked in shirt,
tee,
and then like
rainbow slides or rainbow flip flops.
We literally look like counselors. Weird.
I would love to be a camp counselor.
Me too. Oh my God.
I actually thought a lot about Silver Spur while we were in Montana. Mm-hmm. Did you have that thought too? Mm-hmm. We're actually just going to hop right into it for you guys. We're going to give you the rundown of everything that happened this weekend. We were there for 5 days.
It flew by though. It flew
we were there for
like 3.
Right. Because we had 3 full days. Thursday and Monday were flight days.
Yeah.
The day before though, everything was going wrong. So I feel like everything was going wrong, but it gave me like a good taste for the weekend. You know what I mean? I felt like I was getting all my bad luck out in one day.
That's what I said that day. I was like, because I had a bad day, you had a bad day. And then what's his name for this?
Oh, Spike.
Spike had a bad day. And literally we're all sitting here like whining to each other. Yes. And I said, you know what, guys, that means it's going to be a really good trip.
Right.
Because it was nothing like detrimental happened, but it was just like one of those irritating days.
Small inconveniences that kept just like jabbing at our day where we could, it like nothing ran smooth.
Perfect way to put it. Nothing ran smooth. So we knew it'd be a good travel day, a good trip, all that. Getting there was fine. It kind of sucks. You can't get nonstops into Montana.
From here, at least.
From here or from California, because even our California people couldn't either. So that was kind of irritating, but could have been worse. We definitely got up really early for the flights, and I was pretty freaking tired. Spike literally came straight from work.
Yeah, he worked an overnight, so he was off. He's technically off at 6, but we needed to be at the airport at 6.
Yeah.
So he got off at 4:30. He's like running in, literally like goes to the bathroom and is like, all right, I'm ready to go. So we were rolling out our suitcases at 6 a.m., got into an Uber.
If it was, I feel like they would have like blown it up in media more, because that shit was everywhere.
Oh my god, yeah, you guys have all heard of the
poop
the shit on
massacre.
the wait,
Vanilla poo.
the vanilla poo. Vanilla poo.
It smelled like vanilla poo. God, that's so bad.
I kept thinking about it on the flight too.
No, same.
I was like, oh my god, it's gonna happen.
There was so many, like there was a flight thing before we left, and then we also flew home on 9/11. Like both of these flights were very tense.
Eerie.
They were
And
very tense.
We'll get into it later, but a lot of shit was going down.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. We'll get into that.
Night our flight home was, so it was, I don't know, it was chaos.
It was a lot. So yeah, we got there, and check-in to the Airbnb wasn't until 5 p.m., which kind of sucked. Really sucked in the meantime, until I was on our layover. I texted our Airbnb host. Side note,
oh my
our
god,
Airbnb host
homie
was so fucking cool. Kevin, if you're listening, I love you.
He damn near is.
We should have I'm damn near gonna try and find him and send him this episode. Let's hype up Kevin for a second.
Kevin is such a vibe.
He was so cool. He was so accommodating. His property was fucking beautiful. Literally, like anything we needed, I'd message him. He also lived on the property, which at first I was kind of scared.
I was like, fuck, we're not gonna be able to be loud. Like, we're gonna have to, quiet hours and shit. But like, he was like, party on.
He didn't give a damn.
Nope.
And yeah, he was just so accommodating. At one point I was like, we ran out of lighter fluid, and he was like, I'll go to the store right now. Oh, another thing, I could tell you this now. I messaged him a few days prior because I wanted to ask him if he had a hand mixer, an electric hand mixer to make the buttercream for your cake. And he was like, no, I don't think I do, but I'll go to Target right now and get it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know if you remember, but when we first walked into the Airbnb, there was a hand mixer and cutting boards and hella bowls like up on the counter.
Oh my god, so he set everything out for you?
Those were all brand new. Like they all still had tags and shit.
Kev,
I know. I was like, you don't have to do that. Like, I was only asking him if he had it, because if not, I would have done a different recipe for buttercream. I would have done like add powdered sugar to like store bought shit and made it like half-assed,
right? Which
would have been fine. But he was like, no, I'll go to the store.
What a homie.
He was so accommodating.
Also, he had just gotten home from Burning Man, so we knew he was chill. He was with the shits for sure.
I kind of want to read the message because he phrased it as like, oh, I got back from a trip in the desert or something like kind of vague. And I was like, we know what's back from Burning Man. Yeah. So it was when I was asking about the lighter fluid and the propane. He's like, I'll grab propane and lighter fluid tomorrow. Thanks for the heads up on that. I just got back from a 2-week camping trip in the desert, just playing a little bit of catch up. I said, totally get it. Burning Man? He said, indeed. Was my 6th year. We bring an observatory and telescopes out there for people to enjoy. That's so this year posed a lot of new challenges. That was quite the experience and adventure. Our camp was really prepared and was able to help out our neighbors quite a bit when the floods came. Like, tell me more.
Right. He just wanted to tell a story.
And then so the next day when he got us the lighter fluid and the propane, we were all just like outside in the morning, like smoking a joint. I made like a plate of bacon, like not even a full breakfast. We were just eating bacon. And he walked it over and was just like, what's up, guys? Like, plug it in the propane, like perfectly friendly, but not overstepping.
Yeah, not like, okay, weirdo, go away.
Yeah, like we're not trying to kick it with you.
Yeah.
Like he read the room.
Right.
He was so cool.
What a dude. I didn't get a chance to meet him, but he sounds like a great guy.
He reminded me of like Guy Fieri.
Right.
Same energy as Guy Fieri, like wearing literally like a similar outfit. Just classic guy.
Such a homie.
Classic
man
in Montana.
But like not overly masculine.
No, like playful. He was very like and youthful.
Yeah, youthful.
And like earthy. And he was so cool. So yeah, shout out Kevin. Also, when we walked in, there was a fresh dozen eggs.
Yeah.
And then another 36 in the fridge.
From his chickens. Nuts. If you guys ever are going to Montana, look for Kevin in his Airbnb.
Let me like read the name of the property. Historic River Ranch. That's the name of his property, or of like the listing.
And he owns, the house next door is like going up for sale, and he said he's going to buy it. So he's just going to have like a big compound of Airbnbs.
Which, what a life, first of all. Like,
and he seems young. He's got to be like mid 40s tops, right?
Yeah, he was super young. Historic River Ranch, memories waiting to be made. He really foresaw the future.
Right. And like there were really memories made.
Wow. It can hold up to 12 guests. It's 6 bedrooms, 7 beds, 2.5 baths. I will say there's one room that was a twin bed. So like it could sleep
for like kids.
Yeah, but it counted as 2 people.
Oh, really?
And it's like if you have 12 people, like
the one upstairs on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we only had 8. So we actually had like a fully vacant room.
Yeah.
Well, we were supposed to have more, but you know,
shit
hit
happens.
the fan and some people couldn't come on the freaking trip.
On the note of the Airbnb, loved Kev, but I will say there was one room that had creepy vibes, but also the beds weren't as comfortable as I needed them to be. I actually got like the worst sleep of my life.
Every single night.
Whole
trip,
like
probably
Flintstone
slept like
beds.
4 hours total.
Yes.
Just on again, off
Tossing
again,
and turning. I also I think, yes, the beds had a lot to do with it, but I also think the energy in the house had a lot to do with it as well.
Did, for sure.
Also the shower and the master bath was like, it felt like a lab room. Like,
but then it had like a bed frame around it. Like the wooden pillars around it that would like hold those like draperies that go around medieval beds.
Yes.
Like it had that around the bathtub.
Over the so it was like a standalone bathtub, and then it had that like bed frame drapery around the whole outside of it. But then it had like a PVC pipe arm that came up like the right side of the tub and then shot across to the center of the tub, and then one of those big like waterfall shower heads,
the ones that are like they're not angled.
No,
they're just like top.
it's like a big square, and then it's I guess a rainfall.
Right, yeah.
Rainfall shower heads that went down the center. I didn't get one good shower, and I didn't get one good sleep.
Those are annoying. You need the angle because then you're just like waterboarding yourself trying to wash your hair.
And like there's supposed to be these like cool modern showers, but no, you can't. Like I don't even have long hair, and it's still inconvenient. Like you can't like stand under it and like
tilt your head back, or you have to like arch your back hella, and then
it's so inconvenient. So I will say, don't expect a good night's sleep or a good shower,
but memories will be made.
Memories will be made. Okay, before we get into the rest of our Montana trip, here is a quick break for our sponsor.
This episode is sponsored by Ritual, and I feel like with all of this travel we've been doing, it's so essential that we stay on top of our vitamin regimen. Travel takes so much out of you, and you don't want to get sick.
And what's great about Ritual's Essential for Women 18 plus is that you get 9 key nutrients in 2 capsules per day, and it doesn't hurt my stomach. It doesn't like upset it when I take it without food.
And it doesn't taste bad. All of their capsules have like this minty essence, so when it goes down, it just tastes minty. Ritual's Essential for Women 18 plus is also one of the few women's vitamins that are USP verified, meaning that what's in the label is in the formula. Also, it's soy-free, gluten-free, vegan, and made with no GMOs.
No more shady business. Ritual's Essential for Women 18 plus is a multivitamin you can actually trust. Ritual is offering our listeners 30% off during your first month.
Visit ritual.com/Oddvice to start Ritual, or add Essential for Women 18 plus to your subscription today.
Thanks, Ritual.
So there was this one room, and it was above the living room. It was where your brother and his girlfriend were sleeping, and there was this like one creepy door.
It was like one of those like half doors.
Yeah, because they were like the vaulted ceilings. So the
almost like attic like.
Yeah, but like not short like an attic, just like the shape, and then the wall had like a small door. Regardless, there was a creepy door. Imagine that as you want. But inside the door,
oh my God, you guys,
hella little kid toys.
And like set
dolls.
out a doll house.
Yeah, a full doll house, little cars.
And it was
dolls.
like set out as if there was a kid playing in there 10 minutes before we got there.
And what's also weird, I'm just thinking about it now. We know he has a daughter because he even said, he was like, my daughter and I stay on the property, da da da. We saw them multiple times.
Right.
She's
older.
She's like a teenager.
And like, no matter the age.
She's not playing with those.
No. They were in like, if it was used as storage, it would be tucked away and closed. Like
right.
This, I swear it looked like someone was playing in there.
Like actively playing.
Actively playing. And even if it was set up as like a playroom for kids, it like, you wouldn't put your kid in this little...
No. It was like in the crevice of the bed, like
storage room.
Kid storage.
It was like a storage room.
Yeah, it was literally,
like one of those half storage. Like it was as if it was like a closet under stairs, but it wasn't under stairs. You know what I'm saying?
That's like where you'd put like extra pillows and blankets
right.
and like
I would never put my kids in there to play. Hey, go play.
Even if you want to though, for an Airbnb, like why wasn't it cleaned out?
Yeah, don't assume that.
Well, and it was blocked off. I don't think it wasn't advertised. Like it's not part of the listing.
It wasn't blocked off when we got there.
Oh, they moved that?
Yeah.
Okay, so they were scared. Because I saw
they had put like a chair in front of it.
It was a luggage case thing, right?
Yeah.
Like one of those like, also, how did they have that? It was like a hotel one.
Yeah, we had one in our room too.
Oh, what? I didn't have one. My shit was on the floor.
Mine was on the floor too.
Whatever. But yeah, really creepy room. And one night we were partying until the wee hours, as we did all the nights. And Vince was upstairs with Lauren. They were like asleep, whatever. But then they came down and kind of a panic.
Yeah.
And like, they're not dramatic people. So like, I was already like, what's up? They were like, guys. And
we were like, fuck, are we being too loud? Sorry.
Right. Like I felt bad. And he was like, there was just like a weird like metal scratching in the room. I don't know what it is.
Vince described it as if like someone was jumping up and down on one of those metal spring mattresses. And he was like, it was such a specific sound, and like they were fully awake. Like they heard it.
Right. And it wasn't us. Like we were playing music and like dancing around and stuff, but for it to sound like metal is just like extremely specific.
And they said they heard it come specifically from that room, and they were like, we don't know what to do. So
we're also all hammered. We're all like, yeah, let's go figure it out.
Well, no, Lily like out of nowhere pops up. I'll check.
Right, so we all just follow Lily.
Right, so she's
I have a video of it. If the
do?
audio is good, I'll put the video in it.
Oh my God,
I'll put the video in this episode right now.
Who's gonna light? Give it to me.
Like?
I need a light.
It sounded like metal. Like
Give me a light though.
Dude, this is crazy. What's in there?
Give me a light though. I'll do it.
here, you want this?
Oh my God! There's a place that, wait, hold on. The place that's crazy, dog. The place that's crazy.
Dude,
Hold on,
this
somebody
is
grab her.
sick.
It sounded like spring.
This is
Dude.
whoa. Scraping? What did it sound like?
it sounded like metal.
Why is there so many little crazy toys in there?
Right?
This is scary, dog.
No.
So she's like running up there, and we're all following behind. Like, okay, we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna kill this ghost.
Right.
And she opens it, and she goes in the room, and she's just like in there,
Crawling
and
around.
and like looking. We're all like, what is it? What is it? She was like, nothing. No one's in here.
Yeah. And we didn't think anybody to be in there, but I went in after her because I just specifically wanted to like see if I picked up on anything. I didn't. Vince even said he didn't feel like it was necessarily bad.
No, and
it's
I
just
that was the thing. There wasn't any bad energy in the house at all. There was just a lingering energy.
Yep. Which is normal, I guess.
I
right?
will say that last night I don't like stay up in bed and like am scared.
Yeah.
But I was scared.
Yeah.
I was scared that last night.
The night of the room, was that or you mean the last night of the trip?
The last night of the trip when we watched a scary movie, And I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
thinking, like, I slept the whole movie. I'm not scared because of the movie. But also that night, Spike heard, right as we were falling asleep, he swore he heard someone knock on our door.
Yeah, I remember you guys saying that.
And I was like, I didn't hear that one. But probably 20 seconds later, I heard like one of the closets in our room was locked. And you could tell it was used for just like the cleaner supplies. But it was almost as if the handle was shaking. And me and him both literally, we were faced the other way, like big spoon, little spoon. And we both literally went like this at the same exact time. It was really scary.
God.
It was, so I couldn't sleep that night.
That same night, I also went to the bathroom.
Oh my God, yeah.
And so the bathroom is across the room from Vince's scary room. And it was like the middle of the night. All the lights are off. I had to pee. So I had to come out of sleep. So you know, when you have to pee in the middle of the night, you like keep your eyes closed so you stay tired.
Yes.
It was one of those for me. So I just like crawl over to the bathroom and I pee with the door open. Cause like it's the middle of the night. Nobody's coming out. I don't care. And I'm just like looking at the ground, do my business. And all of a sudden I feel something looking at me. And I like, all in the same moment, my first thought was, oh shit, like Vince came out of his room, like let me close the door. Mm-hmm. But then as I'm thinking that, I whip my head up to look and like see what it is. His door's closed. No one's there, but I felt something at his door facing me. And like, I don't know. Also, at this point, like this wasn't the night that we were like super hammered either. Like I just feel like I need to vouch for myself there. I was not hammered. Like,
and
it
like
was,
this isn't like hammered activity. When you're
Right.
when you're hammered, it's almost
if anything,
the
I would
opposite.
be like, ignore it.
Right. You
No.
can't pick up on that energy when you're
point, yeah.
impaired like that.
So it was something was looking at me, and at that point I didn't even wash my hands. I don't even think I flushed. I literally like ran to the room. And that night I was also sleeping alone because Lily and I were sharing a room, but she fell asleep somewhere else like earlier in the night. So I was like, okay,
You should have like came and slept with us.
I couldn't even fathom going down the stairs.
Oh yeah.
Because that in that moment, like, I could still feel it now, like trying to go from the bathroom back to my room. I ran, like I felt like something was like running after me.
Right.
I don't know. It was weird. Also, the first night we were there, I had a dream that we ran out of hot water. And then the next day we ran out of hot water.
Yeah. And it didn't, you notice it didn't happen again?
Yes, I know.
The rest of the trip.
Because like there's 8 of us showering the whole time. Like
it's like to be expected.
But it only happened
The one time
after I had the dream about it.
and to one person.
So it's my fault.
Literally your fault. You know what I just also clicked in my head? You could probably like see, I always think about this when like I get like spurts of ideas in my head. I wonder like what it looks like on camera. But this is our third creepy Airbnb story.
I thought about that earlier. Like the fact
Do
that we're
we
going
just-
into another story, maybe something's following us.
But only coming out in Airbnb.
Yeah, they travel.
What was our second one? It was Tahoe.
I think we've only had 2.
No, I could have sworn we literally did like a part 2 to creepy Airbnbs.
Oh, you're right.
I don't
know.
remember. But I know there's I know there's a second one.
Yeah, I don't remember. Huh.
Well, this is part 3.
Yeah, add this one to the list. But overall, it was great.
It was the trip itself was great. Should we talk about our so we got there on a Thursday and my birthday was on Friday and I really, really wanted to go into the park on my birthday in the morning and do a hike.
The Glacier Lake National Park.
Yeah, Glacier National Park. And I had done like a pretty good amount of research
For
on
sure.
the different hikes that were like in our range. Obviously, there's tons of hikes that are like over 10 miles and really like high elevation,
like you
and
need like a stick. And
yeah,
stuff.
you need a stick, you need bear spray, you need like all the fixings to go on a lot of these hikes.
Right.
So I was looking at hikes that were around 6 miles round trip. We ended up walking 10 miles round trip because I fucked up. I
No,
thought
you didn't.
I thought I did a good amount of research. And you know what? If I did pull up the website, I could guarantee that like if I showed you the information that I saw, you would assume the same as well.
But the thing is, you didn't fuck up because, well, we'll talk about it, but we just didn't make a reservation.
Yeah.
That's all.
But I didn't think we needed one.
But how is that a fuck up? Like, you've never been there before.
Right.
Like, it's not like they said, we sell out. Like, because Disneyland tells you that they sell out.
Right.
Like, there's a disclaimer. Like, they didn't tell you, like, hey, we tend to sell out these days. Like,
right.
I don't know.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
So you need a reservation to drive into the park.
Right.
Now, all the research that I did, told me that you could drive to a certain point at the very bottom of the west side of the park. And I think it was called
West Glacier.
Yeah, West Glacier, but Apgar Village. So what I had researched was that you could drive to Apgar Village, park your car, and it was like the first visitor center at the edge of the park. And you could take a shuttle up going to the Sun Road, which is the road that like leads through the entire park. If you do like any research on Glacier National Park, you'll see going to the Sun Road. It's where you see like the whole park on a cliff. And I knew I wanted to go down that road, but we were in a rental car and I just thought it might be like a cooler experience to go on a shuttle. So the plan the whole time was to drive to Apgar Village and to take a shuttle down going to the Sun Road. Well, I was not aware that Apgar Village was actually inside of the park. And even if you wanted to take the shuttle, you would still need a reservation for your car to get into the park and to drive to Apgar Village, which was 2 miles inside the park. So we turned back around. We parked on the very edge of the park where they told us we didn't need a reservation or like a registration to get into the park with our car. And we walked the 2 miles to get to Apgar.
Like 2.5.
Yeah, it was like on the way there, it was like 2.5.
Yep.
Because we took the bike trail and not
on foot.
We took the bike trail on foot. So it ended up being 2.5 miles just to get to the village.
So that's one way.
One way. So we ended up, so it was a 45-minute drive from our Airbnb to the parking lot. Another 1.5-ish walk from the parking lot to Apgar Village. Another 45-minute drive on the shuttle up. And let me tell you,
it's like the magic school bus, you guys.
First of all, she was hauling ass.
It was like a 30-seater shuttle, 40-seater.
Big ass. It was like one of those half school buses.
Yes.
But the back of it had like one of those handicap like ramps. And it was like it was angled up and like locked in, but the road was not paved. So and on top of it, we were the last people in line to get on this bus. So half of us were standing in the back. So we're standing in the back. She's probably going at least 50 miles per hour.
Have you guys been on Indiana Jones? Because the way that they like simulate a bumpy road in Indiana Jones is exactly how she was driving. And we got there.
Oh yeah, we got there. Well, and this gate for the ramp thing was literally rattling so loud that like me and Spike and our friends Chris and Tristan were in the back. We were all standing in the back and we're like yelling at each other. It was so loud.
That was loud. And then all the windows, because
rattling.
They were rattling. They were all loose screwed because they drive this back and forth all day, 7 days a week. It was loud. It was so loud.
So we were on that for probably 40 minutes. And we finally get to the trailhead. And we're at the trailhead. So we ended up picking Avalanche Lake, which I was totally biased. And I was looking at, I think it's the website's called, or the app's called All Trails. It was where I was doing the research for all the hikes. And it had the prettiest pictures.
I mean, that's all you can go off of. You've never been there before.
Right. I had to pick the one with the prettiest pictures.
And it ended up being gorgeous.
Gorgeous. I knew I wanted to go to a lake.
Right.
To dip my corns in.
Right.
So I was debating between Avalanche Lake and Hidden Lake Trails, but Hidden Lake Trails didn't have any cute pictures. So
we went, Hidden Lakes is the lake behind our elementary school. So I feel like we already did that.
Yeah, we already did that. And you know what? In my head, I was thinking pond because Hidden Lake.
Hidden Lakes is
yeah.
pond. Yeah.
And
yeah, no, valid.
I already had like a just a slight taste in my mouth.
Right.
So we ended up doing Avalanche Lake Trail, and it was, I think, like 3.5 miles round or one way.
Yeah.
We get up there. Well, first we get like halfway up, and that was like an easy walk. But then we're like starting to walk up. It's like fully uphill.
Yeah, it was quite the incline.
Dirt and rock up the side of the waterfall. And that part was about like an hour up that way.
Yeah. Not bad though. We like stopped, take pictures, like take videos. Like it's nice. Those hikes sound intense if you're like doing it for sport, but if you're just strolling,
right,
and you stop and you rest and you like eat a snack, like it's just so enjoyable. It was so fun to do.
And it was
such
shaded
a big group
the whole time.
Yes, it was not too hot at all. It was actually kind of cold in the beginning.
Yeah,
but we warmed up so quick from just like naturally moving. It was so quiet. It was literally one of the most beautiful hikes I've ever done in my entire life.
And we get to the top and we peek through. It was actually Spike who found like a little entryway. Yeah, like a little beach on the like south side of the lake. And we walk through, and it took me a minute to like see the full thing.
Yeah.
I like walked out and I was like, oh, okay, this is beautiful. And then I kept walking, and it literally opened up into this huge like
Microsoft Windows background.
Yes, and like a huge canyon of this beautiful lake,
and then like a waterfall down the
right,
middle.
you're right, like up underneath this big mountain, and there's 2 waterfalls, and it literally took my breath away.
I started tearing up.
Yeah,
I literally started crying. I just posted today a reel on my Instagram. If you guys haven't seen it, it shows the whole hike, so you can kind of go get some imagery here to go along with this story. But it was breathtaking.
Stunning.
And we all sat and chilled. Earlier that morning I woke up early and made sandwiches for everybody. I literally felt like Octomom.
Yeah, I woke up at like 6 a.m. and I just like stumbled out, and there were grocery bags all laid out. There were 8 of them, so it was like 2 by 4, and you had them all lined up, and each
water
one,
bottle.
yes, a water bottle, a bag of chips,
and an apple. And then pro tip, if you're ever making a mass amount of sandos, get baguettes and then make big sandos and then cut them into little sandos. And that's what I did. And it didn't take that long. I prepped everything the night before, so I just had to throw it on the bread.
It was so good.
It was good. A little soggy, but that's because of physics. That's not my
expected.
fault. So yeah, we go down onto this like big ass log. We enjoy our lunches, take our shoes off. We got our corns in the water and just
Took a big group photo.
really took it in. Like we really did take it in, which I love. Like, I don't know. I feel like when I go into nature, sometimes I'm like, oh, I need to like take a picture and like,
Let's go.
let's keep walking. And like, no, we actually all just sat on a log. We took our pictures at the start, but we sat on a log and just like
All just like
looked around.
quietly absorbed everything
Yes.
that we were looking at.
And then honestly, I feel like we could have been there all day, but all of a sudden we heard thunder. We were like, oh,
Okay,
fuck.
we got it, and it was like loud. It was like rumbling.
So loud. The loudest thunder I've heard in a minute. And we just like quickly dry our feet, put on our shoes, and we mobbed that 3.5 miles back in
half hour.
like I ended up being I think it was
45
like
from top to bottom.
Yeah.
But that first chunk was half hour.
We were like running because we thought it was going to start pouring, and it didn't even start raining. At the end, it like sprinkled.
Right.
We
when we
like,
got down to the
damn.
bottom loop, it was like sprinkling.
Right. But then
But-
the rainbow.
Wait, no. The line to get into the shuttle.
Oh, God.
Okay,
That was
so
awful.
I will say, love Glacier National Park. Beautiful, show stopping. Highly suggest you go. But they really need to figure out the shuttle situation. So they have one shuttle running the full park every 45 minutes.
But not even every 45
No.
minutes. The sign, it has the squiggle. So it's like roughly 45 minutes.
Roughly 45 minutes. So we get down to the parking lot after the hike, and we're like, okay, cool. It looks like there's only a few people in line. So that means a shuttle must have just come. And which was kind of ideal because you didn't want to be at the end of the line, because then you would wait like a double 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think they only let like 26 people on the shuttle.
Right. So we got in line, and we were all like counting the amount of people in front of us, and we were the 20th people in line.
Fuck.
So we were at the very end of the next shuttle that was coming, and we had asked the people at the front of the line, we were like, how long have you been waiting for? And he was like 15 minutes. So we were like, okay, hopefully it gets here in like 25 30 minutes. That's so reasonable.
Right.
We're standing there, and then it starts dumping on us, and it
got cold,
freezing cold. The air was like crisp and wet, and we're all standing there huddling in like sports bras and shorts.
It was so fucking cold.
It was freezing, and on top of it, we ended up waiting for like another hour.
Oh my god, it was so long
because the rain was just causing like a lot of traffic on going to the Sun Road. So the big shuttles were just like probably going a lot slower.
Yes.
Like
yeah,
they're
she
probably
was
being
not
held
going
up
50 on that gravel road. There's no way.
No shot.
And all I'm thinking in this moment is, okay, we're going to get on the shuttle right now, but then once we land in the shuttle, we still have to walk another 2.5 miles to get to the car. And then another 45 to get back to the Airbnb.
It was just like every
God.
checkpoint, we just had to, there was another checkpoint after it.
It
was never
never
ending. And on top of it, so we were the last in line, and they get to a point, I think they get to like 26 or 27 people, and then they're like, okay, everyone after that, we have like room for 10 standing people. So half of our group was like a part of that 10 standing, and the last half was standing, and then there was a whole other group behind us, and we're just standing there thinking like, fuck, you guys are gonna have to wait like another hour. Imagine being at the end of that line.
Yeah.
And
because they were there about as long as we were.
Right.
And they have to wait double.
Double what we just, and
I felt so guilty.
We're like all walking on the bus, and there's this like family with like little kids, and we're like, fuck,
we're like, peace.
Sucks to suck.
White Claws to drink.
We have places to be. But like also
I put my head down and I got up there,
took my seat,
and we had to like do a U-turn and like drive past the line again.
And they were all waving.
It was like really morbid.
It just like, fuck, like I felt so bad for them.
I felt like they were about to be like executed,
and like not in a million years would I ever give up my spot.
No. I mean, there were babies, and I still was like, build character, buddy.
Sucks to suck.
You know, we all had to do it at your age, so
you'll get over it.
This is
builds character. All right, another quick break for our second sponsor.
Today's episode is sponsored by Honey Love. Honey Love is a shapewear brand that offers so much more than just shapewear. They have bodysuits, leggings, and so much more.
Yeah, I actually got one of their bras. I got the crossover bra in the color Astral, which is like an off-white color, and it's so comfortable. But I love it because it almost feels like a pullover bra that you could just like throw on under a tee, but it has the clasps.
So you can actually adjust it for yourself.
Right. You could adjust it and it still feels like a bra.
But
does that make sense?
There's no underwire,
right?
Which I absolutely love because you have the support, but I don't know, some days I don't want like just like crazy boobs, you know? Like I just want something comfortable that could be under a light tee, support like a bra, but doesn't have the
underwire.
We also both got the Superpower Thong, which is shapewear that is so incredibly sculpting, but is really comfortable. And also, you don't have to wear underwear.
Oh my God, it's not like one of those half ones where you like have to tuck a thong up underneath it.
And then like if you need to go to the bathroom with it and you're taking off it's like rolling up on you.
Right.
I have a wedding this weekend and I'm just really excited to wear it under my dress and not have to worry about having a million layers on and just feeling sculpted.
It'll be nice for the wedding that you're going to because you could dance.
Oh yeah, the boning on the shapewear is so flexible, so it's not like digging into your side.
Treat yourself to the best shapewear on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/oddvice.
Use our exclusive link to get 20% off. That's honeylove.com/oddvice.
Thanks, Honey Love.
Okay, so we finally got onto that shuttle. We got back. We walked our 2.5 miles back. We did take a shorter route, though.
Yeah, it was about 2 miles.
We ended up walking like the actual road, like the cars road, because that was shorter than the bike path that Alex is talking about. So we looked like hitchhikers, but
Wait, I'm gonna pull up the amount of steps that we did that day.
oh my God. I think it was like 24,000.
Was it?
That sounds right.
22,704 steps. About 10 miles. My brother's girlfriend had an Apple Watch and she had her
She, like,
actual
started the
miles.
time, yeah.
And it was about 10, it was a little over 10 miles that day.
That's roughly what you do in one day at Coachella. But it
Right.
was so different than Coachella.
Oh my God, so different. But I will say, so after all the treacherous walking and hiking that we did that day, the 10 miles, we got back in the car. It was a beautiful drive back. Oh my God, the rainbow.
It was actually the craziest rainbow I've ever seen.
It was a double rainbow. And we actually saw both ends
Whole thing.
of the rainbow.
Like the whole tale of like, there's, by the way, there wasn't a pot of gold at the end,
No.
but
Spoiler alert.
we did see the whole rainbow. That's crazy. Maybe we're just so jaded because we live in a city, so we don't get to see shit like this. But like, holy shit, it was the craziest fucking rainbow I've ever seen in my life.
And on that drive, I also noticed, like, that's why they call it like big sky.
Yeah.
Like the sky
big
is just so huge. And when you're in the city, like, we go out on our balcony and we look up. Sorry, I have something in my throat. You go out on our balcony and you look up and all you see is you're surrounded by buildings. So the sky is like, so like, it's such like a focus point.
It's like so behind the buildings. Like, it's just kind of there.
And when you're like our drive, I noticed it on the drive home, the whole, you see from like end of the earth to end of the earth.
Yes. Like you really see the whole sky.
And it's huge. It's really big sky.
It's so pretty. It was stunning.
Stunning. And after all of that, we still went home and got hammered yet again every single night.
We got home and we all took our showers. And at first I thought we were like all gonna nap or something, but I think we all quickly realized like
we couldn't.
You just have to keep going. If you want to keep going, you can't slow down. Mm-hmm. So we took our showers and we partied until 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So mind you, that's almost, oh my God, that's
24 hours.
I woke up at 5:45 and I went to bed at 4:30. I was almost awake for 24 hours.
Yeah. And like not just 24 hours of doing nothing. Like we actually had such an active, treacherous day.
The next day, the whole rest of the trip, I was just wobbling.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't walk.
Struggling, but like the only thing that could cure it was to continue.
You just gotta push
it every
through.
night. And not just like, let's drink, let's just like play card games and like all sit and chat. Like we were raging. We were standing on top of the kitchen island. You should read Kevin's noise complaint.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So the first night.
So
first or second night? Birthday night.
I didn't see this message until the next morning because I was not on my phone at all during this trip, like period. But okay, we got a noise complaint, but it's a lot better than you think. Let me read it for you. So he hit us at 1:50 a.m. Hey, hate to relay, but just got a message from the neighbor that things are getting pretty loud. If we could keep the party inside with the doors and such closed, that would be much appreciated. And then he put a smiley face. Again, I didn't see that. So the next day at 1 p.m., 12 hours later, he said, talked to my neighbors again this morning. Guess they were having a rough night and felt bad messaging me about the noise. Hope y'all were able to enjoy and felt free to do so. I'm headed to run those errands now and we'll put the lighter fluid next to the charcoal and a full bottle of propane in the fire pit. Lots of fresh eggs down here at the chicken coop if y'all need more. They also love any leftover food scraps if you wanted to treat the little raptors.
The little raptors.
So cute.
That was like,
I wish we went down and looked at them.
Me too.
I wanted to do that. I said, I am so sorry. I'm just now seeing these messages. We will absolutely keep it inside going forward. The birthday was last night, so we should be a lot more mellow from here on out.
Nope.
Absolutely, we're not. I feel terrible. Please let them know how sorry we are. Thank you again for everything. He said, really, don't feel terrible. They were just having a rough night is all, and I think the noise just gave them something to project it on.
Like, so right.
I let them know this morning that y'all are awesome and celebrating a birthday. All is good. Kind of glad you didn't see the message till this morning, so it didn't impact anything last night.
So sweet.
So fucking sweet. But yeah, we were pretty fucking loud, but we did bring it inside. We were so loud outside because I'll never forget that moment. I just like broke down. I mean, everybody on that trip, we've all been friends forever. So like we're all best friends. And I just broke down to every single one of my best friends about what I'm going through. And the way you guys hyped me the fuck up.
We were on it was like this big
crazy
wooden circular table, and Kristen was dead ass in the middle, and we were all standing like hovering over her like, you're the like baddest bitch any of us have ever met. You could get anyone you fucking want. Like literally like if someone,
I was in trouble.
If someone saw this and like couldn't hear the audio of it, they would think we were
bullied.
like harassing you.
Yeah.
But we were all like going in on like how much of an amazing person you are, how much you'd like deserve like true fucking happy love. And I'm glad it sunk into you because like the passion that we all like really pounded into you came from such like a strong place in each of our hearts.
That's why I felt it.
We fully meant every single bit of it. And it was like, even for me, it was like one of those moments where I was just like thankful to have the friend group that we have.
I had that. I zoomed out a few times in that. And I'm like, this is really my support system. And a lot of people die not experiencing a support system like what we have.
Right.
And
we just have to be grateful.
I'm so grateful. The fact that I can call up any of you guys at any moment and have that same talk is just like such a blessing beyond words. And yeah, just that moment it changed the neuro pathways, to say the least.
It really did.
We were so fucking loud.
Oh my God.
Like,
we were. And then at one point we were like, all right. And we turned on our, we had like our big speaker. We were screaming like Carrie Underwood, Shania Twain, just like bad bitch songs.
Literally.
Like feels like, what's the Shania Twain?
Man, I feel like a woman.
We were screaming that, like just like full empowerment that night.
But so were the boys.
Yes.
Like it wasn't just like me, her and Lily and Lauren like doing like it was everybody. Like everybody was on a bar stool like screaming. Like I felt like in that moment for them, it probably felt so good to be screaming a girl's song.
Yes.
Like that they took away their masculinity and they were like, I'm doing this with the girls right now. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like they were able to lean into their femininity.
Fully.
We were screaming. We all had like sore throats the next day. I feel like I'm still raspy to be completely honest with you.
My voice was like almost fully gone by the end of the weekend.
Yeah. Also, we ended up tallying our White Claw count.
Oh my God, you guys.
And we were doing about 125 per night between 8 people. We were drinking like 42 White Claws a person. Oh, I had tallied 3 days. Oh, all of it. Yeah. Fucking crazy. So multiple packs per person.
Yeah.
But nothing went to waste. Honestly, because we were buying so many that I was like, we're going to have so many left over. This is so dumb. Such a waste of money. Nope.
Each night we got to the bottom of the pile.
And
like, we were playing a lot. Okay, so we were playing a lot of Rage Cage and Flip Cup. Oh my God, you guys. My Flip Cup night.
So I don't know if other people play like this, but in Flip Cup, you usually start even amount of people on each side of the table and you go down, and then the winning team gets to choose someone from the losing team to come over to the winning team. So in a perfect game, it withers down to one versus all.
And no matter how many people are on each side, there has to be the same amount of cups. So like when someone grabs someone from the losing team, there's 6 people on one side and now there's 5 people on one side and now there's 3 on the other. The 3 people side still has to drink 5 cups.
Right. So it still has to be an even amount of alcohol.
Right. So that means people on the smaller team have to like double up.
Right.
There was one game where I was the last person and 7 people were on the other side. So that means 7 people had to take their little swig of White Claw and do their flip. And I had to take 7 sips of White Claw and do each flip individually. And I won.
It was crazy.
It was insane. I swigged and flipped faster than the 7 individual people on the other side.
It was such a moment too. And before before we did it, like I was like cleaning up the table and I remember pep talking you. I was like, Alex, you better fucking win this right now.
Do this.
Like it was her birthday night. I was like wiping all her cups down for her. I'm like, dude, like I felt like your coach in the corner of the boxing ring. Like I was wiping sweat off her face. Like I was like, you have to win this. This will be so fucking cool if you win this. And she won.
And I won. And I'm so proud.
As you should be.
It's one of those like moments where I will never forget it. And I will always like hold my drinking ability to that standard now. Like if I ever play Flip Cup again, I have to win like that again.
Exactly. Like you can't not do.
No. Now I have a standard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was
now
so
I have to
fun.
deliver.
And then Rage Cage. It's always so much fun to play Rage Cage with someone who's never played.
Oh yeah.
And Lauren had never played before. So we were getting her in the cage. And like, you got to do it though. That's the
point of the game.
Right. But I did start feeling bad. So we did end up moving the cup. But it just, those type of drinking games, I think that's why we went through so many White Claws. Like they just sneak up on you.
Yeah, they really do. They really do.
Never
and it was almost
again.
like the last couple nights, we were almost like, all right, guys, Rage Cage. Like we had to. We had to do
like
it.
It was like
we had an
obligation. The Airbnb contract. Like we had. All right.
We had an obligation to play Rage Cage and Flip Cup for the last 4 hours of each night.
We were so tired. We still did it.
The very, very last day, we all just like vegged out on the couch and watched football. And that was equally as like fulfilling for me.
Yes, 100%. As like
Equally
the big hike
fulfilling.
day.
Yep.
Every day. I mean, so we had our hike day, and then the day after that, we went to one of the local breweries, Sacred Waters, and that was a lot of fun. They had a really good falafel, you guys. It was the best falafel I've ever had in my whole entire life. I'm not kidding. And we had really good charcuterie. And then that day we came back. We all took a nap that day.
Yeah, we did.
I think because it was beer.
Yeah.
We're all kind of like beer tired.
We needed to like snooze. And it was earlier in the day, so we needed to like reset.
Oh, you know what we didn't do? Ziplining.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, next time.
We like want to go back to Kevin's property too. Like,
yes.
Oh.
There's something like even though it's creepy as fuck and we won't sleep because the beds are Flintstone beds.
It's okay.
We are drawn to that place, those grounds.
Kevin is our family.
Yeah. We love you, Kevin.
We are Kevin. Kevin is us.
And I love Montana, but I will say a little bit racist.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So at the brewery, were you there when they said it?
At the bar? No,
yeah.
I was at the table.
Okay. So it was my brother, Lauren, and my boyfriend went to the bar, and the bartender looks at my boyfriend, who's black, and she goes, "Oh my God, thank you for coming in. You really it really gets boring here sometimes. I thank you for bringing the diversity." And he was like,
fucking hell.
What
man.
a sick, like, backhanded compliment. Like, how do you look at a human and say, "Oh, it gets boring here sometimes. Thanks for coming in," as if he's entertainment?
I was just going to say, it'd be different if he was like a music act, but he literally came up to order a drink like everybody else.
Yeah. It like actually makes my skin crawl, and like I get a little like stomach in my throat talking about it.
When he came back to the table and said that, I was like, "So are we leaving?"
He was very upset the rest of the day.
It was fucking awful.
He like kept to himself the rest of the day. A few other things, not gonna like go into all these examples, but we noticed it. There were a couple times we were walking around and people were like actually looking at our colored friends as if they were animals, and it made for it to like make us feel uncomfortable. I could only imagine how it makes them feel, and that part of it did fucking suck. And like that's what sucks about these very rural areas that
have no fucking diversity.
No diversity, and it sucks. So it was nice to get, even at the airport, my boyfriend was like, I'm ready to get out of this racist ass town. So
yeah.
That part of it was not a good experience, but the state itself is beautiful.
It was beautiful, of course.
And being at that Airbnb with all of our loved ones was like, it was safe. It was fun. It was like, it was the reset I needed, in the sense that, you know, we're in the city and we're stuck in between all these buildings sometimes, and it could feel very claustrophobic. So it was literally nice to get like crisp, fresh air.
I remember we all felt that the day we got there. We were like, oh my God, guys, like my lungs can open up. And then when we landed back here, I felt them like crumble into like prunes. Like, it does feel good to be back home, but talk about your flight home.
You guys, I'm like actually afraid of flying at this point.
So the first half we were together.
We both landed in Dallas and our connecting flights. So she got a flight home to Newark and I had a flight home to LaGuardia. And my boyfriend had a completely different flight, but he had a layover in Denver and was also flying home to LaGuardia. We all get to our respective layovers and my Wi-Fi on my phone comes back on and I get a notification that says, my connecting flight has been fully canceled and rebooked to tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Mind you, we're landing at 6 p.m. Monday in our
Dallas.
at Dallas at our layover. So I'm like already frantic. I had just woken up and I had taken Dramamine. Do you ever take Dramamine and it takes a minute for your brain to like actually wake up again?
Yeah, I mean, you're so sedated.
Yeah. So I was like waking up from a sedation basically
from surgery
and literally like fuck. And I'm frantic. I don't know what to do. And we figure out that there's a huge storm in New York that night. So that's why all flights into LaGuardia closed. So that means my boyfriend's flight also got canceled the last half. And I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck are we going to do? So we get off the flight. I'm running with you because your flight didn't get canceled.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Into Newark, which is in Jersey. And I'm running with her, trying to see if I can get in line quick enough to get on her flight. I walk up and I hand my original tickets to the lady. And I'm like, hi, I was on a flight to LaGuardia that just got canceled. And she did you catch that? She fully interrupted me and was like, handed my things back and was like, yeah, we don't have room on this flight. I didn't even have time to ask a question.
Right.
And I was like, okay. So I look at Kristen and I was like, I'm going to go figure this out. I'm going to see if I can get on another flight. I'm going to go find the bigger customer service desks. And we part ways at this point.
Because my flight was like just about to board too. And in that moment I was like, God, like I felt helpless. I wanted to go and try and help you figure it out, but then I need to get on my flight. I don't know. It felt really bad.
Yeah. And even me, this has never happened to me.
Yeah.
I didn't even know the first place to start. So I go to the customer service counter. The line is literally 45 minutes long.
It's like the shuttle line again.
Oh my God. Yeah. The fucking lines that we were in this weekend.
So we learned with patience this weekend.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I'm standing in line and my first thought is, okay, because this was American Airlines. My first thought is find another American Airlines flight that will get me anywhere into the New York area that night. So because I had checked a bag too. So I was also worried about where my bag was going to be. So I'm looking at all the different times and there's one other American airline flight that goes to Newark at 7:40. And I'm in line with the girl and she was like, yeah, it's a little late for that one. You're not going to be able to get on that one. And I'm like, okay, don't tell me options that I'm not going to be able to get on. I'm sitting here, everyone's frantic in this line and you're listing options that don't work for me.
You just missed that train.
Literally.
Rub it in.
Literally. And meanwhile, I'm on my phone now looking at other airlines that get me to the New York area that night. So I find a United flight that leaves in 45 minutes. I literally I'm to the girl, I'm like, okay, thank you. Bye. Running to the completely different terminal, to the United terminal. And I'm standing there and, the last half of the people are boarding the flight. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Mind you, they leave in 45 minutes. So I run up to the girl and I'm like, hi, my flight got canceled. I noticed there's still seats available for this trip, but I wasn't able to book it online. Is there any way I can buy a ticket for this flight? And she was like, we typically don't allow people to purchase flights within the hour. And I like looked at my clock. I'm like 45 minutes.
Yeah, like I just missed
girlfriend. And I'm like fully frantic still. And she looks over at the guy who's still like checking people in. And she was like, are we allowed to sell this? First of all, there's like 4 seats left on the flight. She was like, are we allowed to sell one of these seats? And he doesn't even break like what he's doing or make eye contact. He's just, nope. And like continues to scan people in. Ugh. And I'm sitting here like,
why do they have to
tears.
be so disrespectful about it?
So mean. I'm like fully in tears and I'm standing there like I'm stuck in Dallas until 6 a.m. tomorrow, because that is when the next American airline flight was technically like rebooked for me. And I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do? So I couldn't get on that United flight. And then I finally walk away and I'm like, okay, figure this out. So I go back to that email that says my flight has been rebooked to 6 a.m. And I like click on the check-in button and it says it's been booked. So at that point, I don't have any flight.
Like you can't get on.
No, it's fully booked. Like the link doesn't even work anymore. So the title of the email is your flight has been rebooked. But then I click on it to get my boarding pass and it says flight is full.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't even make sense, to be honest
because
with you.
What they did was everyone who was on that LaGuardia flight got automatically rebooked to that 6 a.m. flight the next day. But the amount, I'm sure the flight was still
like
somewhat
oversold.
Yeah.
So whoever didn't check in got kicked.
And I didn't check in because I was like
trying to get on other ones.
Yeah. So at that point, I don't have any flight. And meanwhile, I'm also like on the phone with my boyfriend because his got canceled, and I'm like trying to help him figure out what he has to do. And like, I don't know, it sucked that he was literally in Denver and I was in Dallas. And like, it's a moment where like we want to be figuring this out together.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that part of it completely sucked. But I ended up finding a Delta flight. They only had first class left. And trust me, I don't care if I'll sit in a middle seat if I have to.
Right.
They only had first class left. And actually, when I first looked at it, they had a just like a basic economy flight, and I was on it, but it timed out.
Oh, and it got
sold.
Damn.
So, but when it got sold, they had a first class for the same price. So I bet you when that economy got sold and first class was the last option, they lowered the cost.
Oh, interesting.
So it was because I was looking at miles and like the amount, and I have a lot of miles for Delta. So I technically like spent $6 out of pocket, but I spent like 44,000 of my miles that I've been like saving up for a big trip.
You still have so much though, dude. Like you'll be fine.
Yeah.
The amount that you have, there's no trip that would ever take up all of that.
Right.
You have like 3 trips at least.
Right.
You'll be fine.
So I ended up booking that Delta flight. Meanwhile, as I'm like running back and forth between all these terminals, because I had to go back to the American Airlines terminal to figure out where my bag was going to go now that I'm not on an American Airlines flight. I was going in and out of security.
You're on a list. Yeah, and guys, it was 9/11.
Yes.
All of this is happening 9/11.
And I'm like frantically running around the airport I have like a carry-on bag, and there was a point where I was running through the airport, like holding the bag and like flailing,
like bonking all over the place.
Yes. And I'm going in and out of security because now that I have this Delta flight, I'm like, okay, I don't want to fucking spend so much money on a hotel. I'm going to see if I can sleep in the Delta lounge. So I go back to the
Delta terminal.
The Delta terminal. I figure out that the Delta lounge is closed, so I have to leave again, and then I have to go back to the American terminal to get in line to see what they're doing with my bag. And I get to the front of that 45-minute line, and I'm like, I need to know like where my bag is. And she was like, oh, we don't know where bags go. You have to go to baggage claim for that. So the last time I go, I leave the airport. No, it's actually crazy.
I wish you had like a GoPro on your forehead. I wish you like
Me
ended up recording
too.
this.
And actually, there was the point. So that last line that I was in for like 45 minutes to figure out where my bag was, a girl had like cut. I was next in line, and I was already pissed, and just like from the whole scenario. And this girl comes up to me and goes, "Can I just ask one quick question?"
No, you can't. Get in the back of the line,
Yes.
you fucking idiot.
Yes. Could you
Absolutely
believe that?
not.
Could
The
you?
nerve.
The fucking nerve. And
Nope.
I was like, "I'm sorry. We've all been waiting in this line for like 45 minutes. No,
Nope.
you have to go to the back of the line."
We all have just a quick question.
Exactly. I was like, we've all been standing here.
Ugh,
We've all been trying to
the
figure out our
audacity.
shit. The fucking audacity. So she like looked at me like I was evil.
Right.
And I was like, fucking bitch. Like, there's no way I'm going to accommodate you right now.
Nope.
So I go and find the line for the baggage claim. And the guy basically tells me, if we want to pull your bag right now, it could take up to 12 hours. At that point, my flight left in 8 hours. Like, that's how long
Yeah.
I was running through the airport.
Right. Like he was about to check in.
Right. So he was like, basically, it could be a shot in the dark for you. And you can just see if it lands in LaGuardia tomorrow, because it was still tagged with LaGuardia.
Right.
They like, technically the tag doesn't know I canceled that flight.
Yep.
So he was like, I would plan on doing that. God bless. I landed in LaGuardia the next day, and my bag had come out on the like original flight that I was supposed to be on.
Good.
So I got my bag. I didn't get home till like 1:30 the day after I expected to be home.
Yeah.
And I was just dead.
And that was the day where like we wanted to record.
Yeah.
And then, like she got home midday, and then we had other things to do. It's just,
You guys,
it was a fucking whirlwind
it was a whirlwind.
of the highest highs and the lowest lows.
Yes.
It really was just all over the place. But we're home now. And
Safe.
I leave again in 4 days.
Fuck.
So-
I couldn't imagine getting on and do you have a layover?
Yeah.
Godspeed. Godspeed.
I mean,
will never book.
I don't if I have layovers, I don't check bags for this
Smart.
reason.
Smart.
I didn't check a bag to
Well, not even the fucking
Montana.
bag thing. Like,
well, it's just another layer of stress.
yeah,
Like that was a lot of
trust
your running
me.
around.
Trust me.
So I mean, I'm going to a wedding in Idaho. All I need to bring is like the dress and then like leggings and tank tops, and I'm only there for I think like 36 hours total.
Right.
So I'll bring a carry-on, but yeah, I'm tired to say the least.
Feels good to be home. Feels good to be back.
Yeah.
And we're back on regular schedule.
Yes.
So expect you got an episode on Friday, and you're still gonna get an episode on Monday.
Yep. You're gonna wow, that's a whole lot
You're
of
doubling
a whole lot
up.
of hoopla. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, though. I know you guys tend to like our story times. We have yet again another creepy Airbnb story in the books. Maybe we'll have another one soon
hope
enough. Probably. Probably will.
What's our next Airbnb? Oh, nothing. Well, let's go somewhere. Let's
go book an Airbnb and like let's
You know what?
Connecticut or something. creepy.
Amityville is in Connecticut. I don't think you could sleep there, but
I don't even if we could, I don't think I would sleep there.
would you want to find a creepy Airbnb and like stay there in November or like late
Yeah.
October for creepy vibes?
I would want to like do some research of the grounds.
Sure.
If it's like creepy's one thing, but like I don't want any like demonic shit.
Right.
I was thinking we should research the grounds of Kevin's Airbnb and see if we can find anything
Like
like
coordinates?
yeah.
Yeah.
And just like was there like a little girl who died there?
Probably.
Like some shit like that. I
Let's
don't know.
do it.
The figure I felt look at me when I was peeing was tall.
Okay.
Not like Slenderman tall. Like
Just like
an
6'4".
adult. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's tall.
Yeah. But like yeah. So
Wow.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Okay.
say it. I did feel kind of like a woman though. So maybe it was just a creepy tall
Wow,
woman.
it's one tall bitch.
This is a basketball player. WNBA player.
Fuck.
I don't know. We got to do research on it though, but
All right, guys.
yeah. There's our story time. And that's the tale of why the episode was late.
That's the shit we've been going through this past week.
That was like a story of like an episode of like Phineas and Ferb, them trying to tell their teacher the whole story of why their homework's late or some shit. Like
Why their
it was
homework
all
was
just
8.
one big excuse.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
It was her birthday, so
It was
she
my
could do whatever the
birthday.
fuck she
I could do
wants.
whatever I want.
All right, we love you guys. Patreon episode is already out now, and if we don't talk to you then, we'll talk to you guys on Monday.
Love you.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.